Hi, I'm Gareth Spence and welcome to Tech Talk. After several days of technical sessions, executive meetings and vendor briefings, industry insiders Roy Rubenstein and Daryl Inniss are joining me to discuss what they've learned at OFC. Guys, how was the show?
The show's been fabulous. It's the busiest I recall an OFC in a long, long time. And there's so many dynamic discussions related to what's going on. So this has been a fabulous show, and there's still one day to go.
Yeah, I concur. There are people everywhere. The exhibition floor is full. You go to all of the talks and the room is packed and doors are open. People are outside trying to get in. And it's just a sign of where we are now in the marketplace and what's happening.
What were the hot topics?
Let me start by saying the first talk that I came across was a keynote at the Executive Forum by Google. And they talked about many of the issues they're facing in the data center and just how fast things are evolving. And it was the first time where they were almost talking to the optical industry with a requirement for help in terms of what they need going forward if computing is going to continue to scale. And this is really interesting development.
And on my side, which is interesting, I spent half of my time worrying about the actives, specifically lasers, because I think that that is one of the fundamental items that's needed for high reliability and low cost to be able to deliver high bandwidth and low power for some of the problems that Google and the other hyperscalers are experiencing. On the other side, I was also looking at fiber, which is something that is needed to transmit to give you the high bandwidth. And specifically, hollow core fiber and multi-core fiber are the areas that I spend time studying.
Now, Roy, this was a special show for you because you were helping to organize the rump session. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did it go?
First of all, it was a really fun evening. So we had 3 teams of key networking people speculating on how they would re-engineer the global network if something were to happen to it, and I had this clean slate. It was full of banter and levity. Teams handled it differently, but as an evening to relax after what was a pretty grueling days because of the busyness and what's going on, it was a fabulous evening.
And what's next for you guys? You said there's one more day left. What are you hoping to hear?
If I can start, Daryl, there's several key themes of this show. There's companies using technologies that perhaps previously were for longer distances that are now repurposing to the data center. There's mergings of things that were separated, so photonics inside the data center and coherent outside, now they're starting to blend together. How best to bring optics close to the chip, that's a key part of this overall computing problem that Google was alluding to. All these things are in flux, and lots of companies are pursuing this differently. So however many meetings you have here, you will hear more technologies, more ideas, and more to try and work through to make sense of, to see where this is all going.
Yeah, at the base of all of the things that is happening here, you need the optical fiber. And the 2 developments that have and are in the process of changing this industry are related to the multi-core fiber or the hollow core fiber. The multi-core fiber, same dimensions as a standard transmission fiber, but there are more cores in the fiber. So it increases the density, the amount of bandwidth that you can provide per unit area. The challenge is, how do you get all that light in and how do you get it out? I saw a couple of vendors here that have developed solutions where they put multiple lasers into one little package and they have the optics to get the light in. So this is a nice step towards making this a practical way of using multi-core fiber. The hollow core fiber, there were multiple talks on hollow core fiber and a lot of discussion as to whether the market is ready for this or not. In principle, it's still quite early, but there have been deployments and it continues to progress, which is good. The big problem is developing an ecosystem that is sustainable, that is strong over the long term for hollow core.
And if I can add, Gareth, what Daryl's talking about really summarizes this industry. There's probably not been a period like this for a long, long time, but it's also important to remember that these technologies take time to mature. So again, you've got this contrast or this challenge where companies have to act fast, but things take time. And that's quite a thing to battle with or make sense of.
Gentlemen, thanks for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you in LA in 2026.
Yes, same here.
Thank you very much.